everybody, and welcome back to Choir Robes and Church. I'm Ms. Tan.
I'm CJ.
Welcome back, everybody. All right, we're gonna get right into this thing. How was your weekend, Courtney?
My weekend was good. You inspired me last time.
Oh,
watching some of the
yeah.
So, I actually watched one of the things I love is the Gilmore Girls, but I went and I took it back and I watched some Cosby Show.
Oh yeah,
because Justin got that for me. And I literally started from the pilot episode, and it was just so funny. Like, I'm sorry, say what you want, but the Cosby Show was an iconic show.
I love the Cosby
with the lawyer.
Yes.
The
doctor, yes.
I mean, intelligent black family.
That's what I love.
Real lessons.
Yes.
That is over here.
Yes.
And that was great, and it's still hilarious.
It is.
One of the best lines from the first episode was when Denise's boyfriend came over, and the question was, "How ugly is he?" I was like, dang. Worst part, the boyfriend was standing right there when Cliff said it. So,
Yeah, I love the Cosby Shows. I think it was. Which one of the kids never could keep a job? Was that
Denise? I think.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Because she went to Hillman and then came back.
Right.
And, oh Lord! And I'll tell you the reason why I got stuck on it was because I saw on social media one time one of the episodes where Claire went in on Vanessa and she was going to see The Wretched.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see the episode, but I couldn't find it online.
Right.
And so I was like, my birthday just passed, and he gave it to me. He gave me the complete series for my birthday.
Oh,
so
wow.
I just binged a little bit of it.
Is this when she got home late and they were sitting at the door in the couch?
Yeah.
On the couch, right?
Just
just waiting for her to return.
Move the couch to the door. And
Right.
sitting there just
Looking at. I remember that.
She come through the door like.
Right. I remember
Man,
that.
I'm telling you, those are good
I love
times.
the Cosbys. And speaking of old stuff and the old shows and whatever, I can remember. I don't know if you remember, Courtney, some of the old sayings that my grandmother used to say.
Oh my gosh!
Gosh! And things that they used to have to do, like New Year's came, and then you would have to make sure the first person walking your door is a man. I was like, okay, well, why?
I don't know that one.
That's good luck. Oh, okay. If a man walks in your door the first day of the year, then that's good luck. Okay, all right.
So I need to tell Justin to leave and come in after
And come
12,
in? Yeah.
like 11:59.
Right.
Go out the house,
Right.
babe, and then come again.
Exactly.
Okay.
Do you remember anything?
Oh gosh, my grandma don't say anything except for when it's cold. This is relevant. Is that door got a bad breath? And that's because it's cold. And
Right.
you open the door and you feel the
Right.
But no, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like you mentioned New Year's, I don't know the things that people do, like the black eyed peas and all.
Right.
Like
Black
that don't
eyed
mean
peas.
nothing to me. I know that people
Right.
care about it,
Mhm.
but why do people eat black eyed peas? I don't know.
I don't either.
What are the other things that they eat? I don't know. And last year, I heard about people eating something under the table. Do you know about that?
I don't know anything about that.
Oh my gosh. I can't with the superstitions.
Yeah.
We had to have a whole episode about superstitions and the old stuff.
Right.
I had to go sit down with my granny so
Right.
she could tell me
'Cause
about
it's a lot
some-
of stuff.
Because she probably has some.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of
But
stuff.
you know me,
Right.
no. The parents didn't teach me about those.
Okay, yeah. Okay, all right. Well, we're gonna move right along. What do you have for hot gospel?
Hot gospel
Yeah.
today. Listen, you know I always got the good stuff.
I know you got it. You got it.
It's so good that it's bad, or so bad that it's good. This is entitled by me, DoorDash Disasters.
Oh Lord.
So, what I have for you, Miss Tan, is I got two little quick videos.
Okay.
One, and what it is about, we all know that DoorDash is a delivery service, food delivery service.
Right.
And we all know how tipping culture is right now in the world. And so it's about what happens when a DoorDasher brings something and they are disgruntled about their tip.
Oh.
Now, just as a precursor,
Uh-huh.
this guy, he's going to use some choice words with a woman who, by percentage standards, over-tipped him. So, I'm going to go ahead and play this for you.
I just want to say it's a nice house for a $5 tip.
Wow.
Now, did you hear that? Did you hear that little clip at the end where they had to edit that? We don't want to know what he said, but
Right.
but it starts with an F. So
Wow.
so basically, this gentleman delivered some pizza,
Mm-hmm.
$20 worth of pizza, and she tipped him $5 on the $20. And he said it's a nice house for a $5 tip. And she said, "Well, you're welcome." And then he cursed her out.
Right.
And he got fired because we all know that everybody uses the Ring
Everybody.
cameras.
Yes.
So I don't even know why you would do this, but just how would you handle this? If this person came to your house, you ordered something,
Mm-hmm.
and this gentleman comes to your house, you've tipped him,
Right.
you think y'all are good, you take the pizzas.
Mhm.
What are you saying when he says, this is a nice house for whatever you tipped him?
Yeah, I would say, well, it sure is, and thank you. That's all I would say. I wouldn't give him any more because he don't know what I have. You don't know. Yeah, this is a nice house. You don't know how much I pay for my rent. So may not have the $5 left over after I paid my rent. But I did give you a tip. So be appreciative of that $5 tip. So I would have just said, it is a nice house and thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but you know what? I saw something too. A young lady, she was delivering and she delivered the food. Well, she's getting ready to, and they gave her an $8 tip. Well, she was complaining because she said, do you understand? I had to drive 40 minutes for this $8 tip. I had to drive 40 minutes.
Okay. So I am not a Dasher
Mm-hmm.
or Uber Eats driver, and no shade to them or
Right.
anything like,
Mm-mm.
hey,
No.
we all do what we got to do
That's
when
right.
we got to do it. But we all know that they get to select the orders that they take.
Yes.
So, tip or not, you chose to pick up that delivery,
Right.
to accept that delivery,
Mhm.
pick up that delivery, and then take that delivery.
Right.
And you said something about being grateful earlier, the gratitude.
Yes.
It is the lack of gratitude
It
for
is.
me.
It is.
Because it's a tip.
It's a tip.
And yes, we understand that when people are providing you a service,
Mhm.
that it is a good courtesy and
Right.
it's good etiquette
Mhm.
to tip,
Right.
but it's the assumption,
Right.
it's the audacity,
That's true.
it's the tone.
Uh-huh.
It's like people are not thinking about, this is a camera and I'm just on here and I'm just gonna, you just gonna curse somebody out because
Right.
they did not give you what you deem
Right.
as an acceptable
Exactly.
tip.
Exactly.
So if I gave you $2 more, you wouldn't have cursed me out?
Right.
Like, really?
Right.
Come on.
So
Is
I'm
that-
like, what was the girl thinking? How much do you think she thinks she should have got? I don't know.
Baby, I don't know. Even without even knowing the total of whatever it is, an $8 tip is a decent
It's
tip.
a decent tip.
Now, I mean, I don't know what you ordered, but I don't think the door dashing, just Dashers aside, we have to, because I get Uber Eats and Instacart groceries all the time. And I always tip. However, we get charged service fees and all this other stuff. And so please understand that even though I'm a Uber Eats member and I'm supposed to get free delivery and they take that off, there's a service fee on every single one. So it's understanding that just because I was able to buy this, that doesn't mean that in your mind and my mind, they are linked on what the amount of the magic tip is and what you get, because in our tipping culture, it's always suggesting everything. So it's you can select one of the suggested ones and they still complain. In this case, if she tipped 25%, it usually tells you to tip somewhere between 15 or 18. So if you click one of those, so you're telling me you're complaining when that's what Uber Eats is telling me I should tip you. So you don't like that. So I would have to skip over the next one and go to the third highest tip for it to be acceptable for you. Babe.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
Like, it's getting crazy.
It's getting real crazy.
And I'm so glad that you actually have seen one of those.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's the subject of the day.
Oh,
It is the tipping culture in America.
Okay.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm tired of tipping. I'm tired.
You tired of tipping?
I'm tired of tipping. I mean, you walk into the grocery store, somebody says, hey, there's the baskets, and then they turn the thing around. Please select. Right. You know, they hand you one of the wipes for the grocery thing. Please turn it around. I mean, it's like, no, that doesn't really happen. But that's how frequently we are encountered with this.
Right.
And I almost feel like we get bullied into tipping. Like, I'm a person that, like I said, I use apps for all the kind of things because ever since 2020, the ease of it, the contactless stuff is just so easy. But I will do the pickup because I try to get rid of, the fees, the extra driver, whatever. It really just matters if I'm out and about, you know? So let's say I'm going to go to the restaurant and pick it up. I will still tip. It's not the same as if you had brought it to my house. But it's like when I am ordering something from a restaurant, like, isn't that part of the job of the people that are working at that time to fulfill the to-go orders? Right. So if I did not tip, is that really bad? Like, I really, really want to know what people think because it's just kind of like, okay, I'm not getting served. I'm not sitting at a table with a server dedicated to me because I understand that. Trust, I've been in food service since I was 15. So don't try that. I've been in every one you could ever say. Okay. But really, I'm just doing a to-go and then like I always pay beforehand. So I just slide them a couple dollars and go on my merry way. But if you don't, if you pay there, then it prints out the little paper. Right. And you're sitting there and the person's sitting there. So Miss Tam, here's your receipt. All right, here's the paper. And I'm going to sit here and look at you while you fill it out. I got your bag of food. Right. What you going to do? What you gonna do? Do you feel any pressure? Do you feel it? Are you gonna tip me?
Let me tell you something. Now, I am guilty of it. And, you know, I have picked up my food and they would say, do you want a tip? I said, no. And I didn't think that was a bad thing. I don't either. And I picked it up. Yeah. And do you want a tip? And I said, no. So is that a bad thing though?
I don't, that's the case that I'm making. Literally, I can name so many food places that I have worked at you do not understand. Like my first job was Chuck E. Cheese, okay? I've worked at multiple Applebee's, Ryan's, Wendy's, like the list goes on, people. So, and servers, multiple restaurants. Right. I mean, years and years, 10 years of this. But still, it's like to go for me, massively easy. Now that's just off the cuff when we are in this exhaustive tipping culture. Right. Now, when you have great service, that is a whole different conversation because my family, we like fine dining. We have our favorite restaurants. And if we're going to sit down, best believe what you don't want to do is stereotype us because I was a server. And what I used to do with my friends, I'd be like, no, we're not leaving the courtesy, as I would call it. Because people that were uneducated in tipping when I was like, you know, in my 18s and 20s working would be leaving $2. And it didn't matter what the bill was, people would leave $2. That's what I call the courtesy. But no. We're in the 25, 30, whatever it is, based on what you do. And then, you know, if you're just really excellent, like my dad, what he likes to do is pay in cash so that you are just blessed with this extra that you didn't have.
So before we go on and listen to Courtney.
Stop, what you trying to say?
No, I want to hear all of this. Okay. We're going to talk about our sponsors.
Yes.
RC3. Yes. All right. We love our sponsor, RC3, 4748 New Allen Road. Come on out and join us on Sundays. We're right here on Sundays. Our Bible study starts at 9:15 until what?
10:15.
And then our services begin at
10:45.
All right. If you get here at 11, you're not too late either. All right. So join us every Sunday right here at RC3. And thank you once again, RC3. All right, Courtney. Here we go, baby. Courtney is hype about this tip now. I'm telling y'all.
Don't understand. It's just it's the audacity for me. Okay. Because when I see number one, just like the thing, like it's like what you're supposed to do is provide excellent customer service.
Right.
Like if you're Chick-fil-A-ing it out here, then you're not going to have to worry about whether somebody is actually tipping you.
Right.
And one of the things that I found was on a CNN, it was actually like an opinion poll, but what it said is that I don't see much ambiguity in the language when it comes to tipping. The way it reads is like a threat. Okay. And one of the things that we know is that if you don't tip, then your delivery comes slower. So again, I've never not tipped. Even when people are awful, even when people, the only time ever was when somebody stole my stuff.
Right.
And then I had to get a refund and I was like, I got nothing. So cancel it all, please. And thank you.
Right.
But other than that, it's like people have to understand that, you know, it's a choice.
Right.
And then also that we are expected to tip before we receive anything.
Yes.
So it's like thinking that your food is going to arrive on the time, because we all know that the little time window will be like, I don't know, 12:15, at the latest 12:35. And then like the other day I had something and it got there 40 minutes after it was supposed to. Ooh. Not the window that they told me, like 40 minutes after the latest time of the window. Oh, no. And I didn't change the tip. Right. I didn't do anything. I actually did like sometimes I'll leave a cash tip as well, like on our little table outside, just so they can have it. Okay. But so it's like, we have to assume that our food is going to be correct, that everything, and it's not their fault if they pick up the food and it's not correct, but we're assuming our food is correct, our food is still hot, and that they're going to follow the instructions. Right. Now, that's something else that is very important to me, because again, this is something that I do regularly, and you know, my generation is something we do a lot. It's just like, I will ask specifically, please leave it on the table outside my house, or hang it on the doorknob. What I don't want is my food on the ground. If you put my food on the ground, then I mean, there's bugs, there's dirt,
that's true.
There's things. And I'm just like, to me, that is an instant, like, I do not want to tip you. Right. And I have never taken it away. But when people don't follow the instructions, I will, like, if they ask me to rate them, because I don't like giving people bad ratings either. Like, I have to be very, very upset for me to give a bad rating. But I have never given nobody a 1-star or anything like that, except for the guy that stole everything that one time. But I will send them like a note when they're like, oh, what was the issue? Like, I'll skip the rating and be like, instructions not followed. Okay. You know, because you put my food on the floor. Right. And like, I wouldn't put your food on the floor. And I understand I'm asking for contactless, but our doorknob is strong. And whether you are scared and you don't think, like, just hang it on the doorknob. Please. You can hang it on the doorknob. So if you ever deliver, no, I'm just kidding. You don't know what my name is. My alias is on Uber Eats. But I'm serious. Like, that's just the whole choice. So let me get out of that rabbit hole. But yeah, so because of all of this, Ms. Kat, I've got 9 reasons why we should abolish tipping. Thank you. What? Let us all a cheer for abolishing the Okay, so number 1, depending on tipping, actually pushes these waiters or keeps them in the poverty level. Oh, okay. So I don't know if you're aware. Are you aware of like what the minimum wage is for like a waiter or something? I'm not. Yeah, it's $2.13. Wow. $2.13 right now. It was $2.15 back in the day. So we lost 2 pennies. But ever since '91, it's been around $2.13. Right. And it hasn't changed, even though the living wage has gone from $4.25 to, I think the national average is like $7.25 now. So the reason they say that is because statistically, people that are on the waiting staff are more likely to be getting government assistance, welfare, etc. So that's one of the reasons. It's like they're assuming that the $2.13 is what you get your little paycheck, and then the rest of it is going to be compensated with the cash. Right. And so we understand this because, again, most of the examples that I provided were not sitting at a lovely table, enjoying a wonderful meal with a companion, and getting a server that serves you and stuff. Right. But that's one of the reasons. Okay. And okay, so reason number 2. That the hourly wage has not increased. So like I said, it has stayed since '91 at $2.13. And so, I mean, that's really kind of bad considering the living wage has gone up. You
Right.
would think that would go up. Now, my solution back in the day was to go, hey, I want to work at like the nicer restaurants because the tips out there be mind-boggling.
Right,
The tips
right.
that we leave at those places, it's like, whew, was that a check? I mean, seriously. Okay, so let's see. Number 3. Okay, people tip in general less than they used to. Now that goes back to what I was just saying.
Mhm.
Like you said, for example, when you pick up stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like we are kind of in an exhausted
Right.
kind of way.
Right.
And so it's like when you see a question on the
Mhm.
screen,
Right.
when they turn the screen around
Right.
to
That's
you,
when they go to
you're
turn it
just
around.
like, and especially when the young person
Mhm.
is looking at you.
Looking right
And
at
it's
you.
just like, okay, I'm
Yeah.
trying to do math in my head.
Right.
Because number one, I like to, I'm weird this way, but I like to even out the numbers. So when it comes out of my account,
Right.
that it's like $8 even
Okay.
or whatever even. And so then I'm trying to do the math and then I'm like, okay, there's people behind me.
Right.
I'm taking too long to add this up, but I don't want to hit the 15 because you literally just handed me a sack and I worked in restaurants and I know what happened. You probably didn't do anything. No, I'm sorry. But
This is your therapy. I'm telling you. This is your therapy tonight.
Listen, okay. So now this one, maybe you can help me with this one. I'm not sure if I'm 100% on board. Abolishing tipping because the customer will still spend the same amount. So if it comes to a restaurant,
Mhm.
you would be happy about that because you don't really care because
Right.
they don't care about that. But I mean, do you really think people would spend the same amount if you abolish the tipping? I guess if you take it off because that's subtracting. Like think
Yeah.
about the last time you guys went out.
Okay.
And
That
then
was
it's like you pay. Okay,
Mhm.
nice. And then you pay and you're thinking, okay, this is gonna be this.
Mhm.
But then we put the good old tax on top.
Right,
And
right.
then after the tax,
Right.
it's tip time.
Right. And so I always, when we go to restaurants, and especially if the waiter, she's nice. This waitress was really, really nice. She got our food out really, really quick. So I always ask them, what are you tipping? And then sometimes I'll make him give a little bit more, then. And then sometimes we'll give more than that 18%.
Yeah, of course.
Because if they're very nice, we give more than 18%, but I'll make sure he's tipping because I look at some of the waiters, if they're young, if they're nice, I'm like, okay, they may be in school. I want to help them out.
Right.
This young lady may be a single mom. I want to help her out or whatever. So, so, I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
I feel you on that. I feel you on that. One of the things, now this has been something that always bothered me, is that when people tip, they discriminate. And this is why people think this should be abolished. And I do think that sometimes people do mentally. Like if you, like I experienced it when I was a server, like when I come up to the table, there's a vibe.
Okay.
Like because I'm the one that came to the table.
Okay.
And maybe if somebody else had come to the table, then it would have been a different experience.
Right.
And I think in reverse, we get that sometimes where, for example, if you go out with a large group of people, that large group period,
Right.
that's always ominous. And I'm like, I have to be selective about
Right.
my large groups, but large groups that are rowdy, large groups that are all minorities, like I'm sorry, but just those a lot of times are ones that will get stereotyped very easily. And so you've got to watch out for that
You do
on
have to
both
watch
sides, just to make sure
Right.
that you're not getting categorized, but also that we are on our best behavior,
That's
not
true.
for anybody else, but
Right.
just to make sure that we are presenting ourselves in the way
That's
that
true.
we should be.
Yeah.
And as we are out here in these streets, because the one thing that I hate is when you're in a big group and people like, they don't remember what they ordered. They want to complain about
Right.
everything. Like they ordered it well done, but then they wanted it medium well, babe.
Right.
You didn't know the difference.
Exactly.
Like that's not the server's fault. They out here like, me and her together, but he's on our ticket. Why are y'all not sitting right here?
Right.
Like we got to help the people out. When you got 12 people or big parties, then we've got to think about that as well.
So speaking of big parties, and what do you think about this? Because we went out to eat this year for my sister's birthday, and it was a restaurant on Goodman Road. And what happened was it was a big party, and so when got time for us to pay, they wanted us to pay not separately.
One. Whoa.
So we had to sit there and figure out everybody's amount that they had to pay.
Oh, Lord.
And it took us a long time to do that. Like,
You done opened up a whole can.
oh Lord, here we go again. Here we go.
Okay, seriously though,
Uh-huh.
okay. I'm trying to remember a time. I have not been personally put in that situation.
Mhm.
You know, a little spoiled with the husband paying
Right.
and the dad paying
Right.
where we've been going out these last couple of years. But I have seen many situations with that.
Mhm.
But see, in that situation, you were with family or
Mhm.
friends that you
Mhm.
trust and it was
Mhm.
okay.
Mhm.
Because I've heard about the nightmare situations
Oh, yeah.
where the people go to places like Capitol Grill,
Right.
Fleming's and
Uh-huh,
such,
uh-huh.
and they run this bill up.
Yes.
And then the bill comes,
Right.
and they flip it around,
Right.
and they're like, "Oh, who's paying $1,200?"
Right.
Put the card, Miss Tan. You putting the card down?
Exactly.
Are you putting the card down?
Right.
Are you putting the card down? Because I'm not putting the card down. Let the record show.
Right.
I shall not put the card down
Right.
for anybody.
Exactly.
So that would have been a whole mess. Did y'all know beforehand that it was like a one check type of place?
I don't think I didn't know.
Mhm.
And I don't think my sister knew because
And was
we
her
were like-
birthday, you said?
It was her birthday.
Okay.
And the loan ticket came. I'm like, okay,
Lord.
the loan, where's my seven? No, y'all got to figure all this out.
The Santa list ticket.
Yes. And everybody was just paying my sister, giving her money. Because, okay,
Mm.
then you got to put this, it's going to come off your cards. We're just giving her the money, you know.
Well, y'all
whatever.
had cash?
Yeah, a lot of people had cash.
See, listen. Okay. That is a perfect solution to
Mhm.
those type of situations
Mhm.
because what happens? Because that's one of the things, I was always taught you bring money
Mm-hmm.
when you go out. You can
Right.
have your car because you never know.
Never
One
know.
time, Justin and I went out and the power
Oh.
shut off in this restaurant.
Wow.
And Justin always has X amount.
Right.
And he was able to cover it with that because these babies pulled out the old school credit card machine
Ooh.
where they put it right here.
Yeah, and they
go
swoosh.
They was doing that to people.
Ooh.
I was like, you shall not have ours
No.
on record
No.
and be like, we're going to run it later. You
Mm-mm.
what?
Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm.
Here you go.
Right.
We're good.
Right.
Give us our receipt and
Right.
we'll be about. Because before we left, we stayed like another 30 minutes or so. They still wasn't finished. But yes, ladies, always
Right.
have some money with you.
With
If you're
you.
going out with a group, it don't matter who you are.
Right.
Always have some money with
Exactly.
you. Look at the menu beforehand so
Yes.
you know how much you're going to spend
Spend.
and then add the tax and the tip
Mhm,
into it.
mhm.
So that if need be.
Right.
Now, it didn't sound like she had one of the nightmare situations,
Mhm.
but if need be, you can slide your funds and you can be about.
Right.
Because I will not put the card down. I will have my exact amount and y'all can figure that out. So I'm glad that you did not have one of those. I'm gonna have to show you one of these videos
Right.
about
right.
the people where
Exactly.
they run it up about $1,400
Woo.
because what they don't do is bring cash. And so
Right.
then it's an integrity question.
Right.
Because not Courtney, I'm sorry. Miss Tan put her card down.
Right.
And then the people, she's like, well, you're going to sell me your money?
Right.
I gave you the cash because I don't play.
Right.
But the other 10 people, we're supposed to sell you.
Right.
And so let's say 2 of them zelled you tonight.
Right.
And then 1 of them zelled you tomorrow. And then there's still $800 left.
Exactly.
And you're just sitting here like,
Right.
hey, guys. Hey.
Right.
And so then you have to track down grown people for this. And one of the biggest things, which brings us right back to our topic, was that people don't be including tax and tip
Oh, they don't.
when they do the zelling.
They
It's
don't.
like, hold on, do
Mhm.
I have to add it up for you completely?
Right.
Oh no.
Yeah, because that night I had to do everybody's tax.
Mm-hmm.
You had to figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay, you got this is yours, this
Yeah.
is your tax and all this. Okay. It was
And then you gotta check them because
Yeah.
it'd be like, okay, your total is $67.22, and then they'll sell you 65 or 67. I'm like, I said 67.22. Now 22 is not a lot, but I'm just saying this is what I told you. Know what I'm saying? Because then all of that will add up.
What add
It
up?
will add up. So thank you so much for
Yes.
allowing me this.
I have
time.
enjoyed this. This was Courtney's therapy. You guys-
Listen, but hey, tipping culture is out of control.
It is.
Period.
It is.
Like, fight with your mama.
Right.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Thank you guys. Thank you RC3 again for sponsoring us. Before we leave, we're gonna let Courtney stand up. Let's see your shirt today.
Okay, so
Yes.
today, even though tipping culture is not for everyone, Jesus is
Yeah.
rated E for everyone.
Yes, it
This
is.
was in honor of my husband, who's a gamer. So,
All right.
ta-da.
Looks good, Courtney.
Thank you.
Well, we thank everybody. Don't forget to like,
Subscribe
share,
and
comment.
comment.
All right.
All the things.
Yes. We will see you next time on Choir Robes and
And church clothes.
Bye.